Hey, you guys. So, I'm not gonna shake it up like I usually do. Just to let you guys know, Dale is actually out of town. He's at a wedding right now. So, I'm just gonna give you guys this quick video on the Capricorn full moon and what the energy might be for everybody right now. I know what I'm feeling. I actually have Saturn and Pluto conjunct in my first house in my birth chart. And I am a Cancer moon. So, the moon, hi, how are you? Tanisha. Wonderful. So, you guys, I think that I'm going to use the Morgan Greer deck for this reading. Um, when you think of Capricorn, what do you think of? I think of, routine because it's an earth sign. Yes, Cancer Moon too. I think of, the routine, the long haul, the stamina, the endurance, right? Capricorns really want to succeed in life, and they want to be known for what they do really well. Yes, it's like the notoriety of everything. Virgos too, they are very service oriented, so they can really tap into that Capricorn energy too, because they're very progressive in a sense, just like Capricorn. Taurus is progressive, but it's in a different way. Taurus thinks about like what they have in order to feel comfortable. My mother is a Taurus, so we're both ruled by Venus. I have two sisters that are Virgos, and one of them has a Taurus moon. So, I have a lot of earth energy. I grew up with a lot of earth energy. So, Pluto, the planet of great transformation, and the death card comes out, transformations. You can't write this, okay? This just happens in real life. Okay, so we're dealing with the death card, which is the ruler of Scorpio, where Jupiter is right now. So we are all seeing an expansive sense of like cleansing happening, as far as like really extracting things down to the purity of the matter at hand, walking through that fire and literally coming out on the other side better, feeling renewed, feeling cleansed. It's kind of like that feeling of the judgment card. Yes, the rebirth of it all. But this is a natural death because, it's numerologically, it goes down to a 4, right? 1 and 3 make 4. So there are new structures within the transformative new beginning that you experience when you have the death card here. So, new beginnings, new transformation. What is Pluto doing? Pluto is the planet that controls you for life, right? Pluto brings you life, and it also is responsible for you when your life is over. So you're always thinking about what you are doing in your life that is going to really matter, that values to you, right? It's an emotional tie to who you are, how society sees you, and what you're successful at. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a pyramid reading. The World card came out, which is Saturn, which is Capricorn. So you've got that tie right there. So you guys are identifying with really wanting to know for yourselves what it is that you're bringing to the table, right? Substantially. Something that has been manifested over time. It could be talents, it could be skills, it could be something that you're already involved in that you just wanted to maybe graduate to a higher position, yeah? And in your moon, you've got the 7 of Pentacles here, yeah? So this is talking about Venus, if you think about the tree of life, and that's talking about, satisfaction in the realm of pleasure. So it's like you're putting work, because this is Saturn and Taurus, Cancer, Moon, Virgo, yes. So you're putting work into something that you're really trying to manifest, and you're really trying to substantiate so that you can feel good about the value of something you created. Yes? This is Taurus, so it's really it's the Lord of I forget what the Lord of what it is, but it's talking about being impatient and really not being able to see the fruit that already is around you before the rest of the harvest begins to come into fruition. You know, this is a card of kind of like wanting it now. Do you remember in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Not actually, not that one. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Violet Beauregard. She wanted everything now, right? That's kind of like what this card is, because Saturn rules time. You can't have everything right now. If you didn't go through, you know, the journey that Saturn takes you through to get to whatever it is that you want, you'll never really fully know how to appreciate it. Yes? So you guys are actually transforming in ways of sort of like giving into Pluto, because it really is about the vulnerability and relinquishing control and letting life take you on this, you know, this Iliad, this Odyssey that you're on, because really we're all Odysseus, right? We're all experiencing our Odyssey right now. Trials, tribulations, all sorts of things. So this reading is actually already speaking to the energy that you guys are feeling and that we are all feeling right now. The world is a number 3, so that's really talking about existing within this karmic lesson that you're learning. That's saying that I understand more about what it is that I'm being taught here, and I'm willing to learn more so that I can transmute this energy and I can take all of these principles that I've been taught within the structures that I've been learning and turn them into something that really will benefit me for the rest of my life. You know, because when Saturn comes around, it's talking about, you know, those really pivotal moments in your life. You know, the first Saturn return is when you sort of go into adulthood. And, you know, that second Saturn return is when you start to really, really let go of those things that you were holding on to for even longer than your first Saturn return. And then you just start to open up to things that are more important, that maybe weren't important before because they seemed like they were minute details in the fabric of your everyday life. But really, it's those fundamental and simple pleasures that allow you to really enjoy life. Yes? You know, I've been taken to course meals, you know, mini courses of meals, 5-course meals, and things like that. And that's all great, and I love it. I don't like getting too drunk, first of all. And, you know, personally, I would like to go to Rite Aid with the person that I'm dating more than like go to a lavish meal with all of the fixins. Just because for me, it means more to me when I'm able to share like real time with you that isn't dressed up in, you know, feathers. Anyway, I'm going too far in. But let me cut these cards now because I think I'm going to. You already have 3 major arcana starting the reading. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, you've got Mercury and Sagittarius, so you guys are formulating, you know, methods of communication, right? Because you're looking to travel. Some of you might be moving. Some of you might be wanting to go and study abroad for the summer. Some of you might just want to go and do some sort of like getaway trip. It could be like some kind of spiritual trip. You know, I have friends that have gone to like spiritual retreats, and those are really great. I would love to go on one. Your Venus and Jupiter are in what sign was that? Let me see that again. It went by really fast. Okay, so let's look at your present. I'm actually just flipping them over as I go, which this is crazy. We're getting to the point here, right? Nice, y'all. Immediate influence. Got it. Okay, so in the moon section, so you're emotionally affected. There are emotions surrounding the impatience that you're feeling around what you feel like you have earned or what you feel like you deserve, because you know when you look back at time you're like, damn, it's been this much time, like haven't I earned something yet? But it really isn't about what you get out of trying to live life, right? I feel like I'm talking to myself here. You really have to inject your very soul and your physical being into life, right? Not just like consider the external things around you, those things that other people think actually matter but really don't. Yes, we're getting into that time, the age of Aquarius. Mars is in Aquarius right now. He's going to go retrograde. So these lessons that I'm talking about, as far as like, you know, the will of allowing things to just sort of be very objective, is going to come into play. And I'm sort of digressing anyway. But when you look around at everything that you have manifested in your life, you might be a little bit disappointed with some of the things. You know, some things don't actually turn out the way that we thought that they would, or the way that we want them to be, because they did turn out the way that we thought that they would but didn't want them to. Okay? Now, that said, in your recent past, I'm seeing strength here, right? This is courage. When I said that, the candle went out, and that's my last candle. So I gotta go to Bed Bath and Beyond today and get that bag of candles. It's like 100 tea lights for like $6. I don't know. Anyway, that's not a plug. The strength card is really talking about when you relinquish that control, you know, that hold that Pluto has on you, you're able to exercise the strengths that live within you, right? That are actually going to help you in dealing with Pluto and dealing with Saturn. It's kind of like when people are walking their dogs, right? And you've seen people drag their dogs on the sidewalk and scrape up their nails and their paws. Or like when people, you know, it's like 90 degrees right now in New York, and we're in a heat wave. We're at the very beginning. We're going to have 3 days of above 90-degree temperatures. And, you know, the pavement is actually really hot, you know, when you're walking your dogs. So it's like if they're acting funny on a hot day and you don't know why, it's probably because their fucking paws are burning. Anyway, you have to practice patience and strength to not use force in those moments that you know you want to. And it's kind of like not popping off, right? I will say this. The strength card is Leo, right? Leo rules this card. This card rules Leo. They are one and the same. I was on the city bus one day crossing town from the Upper West Side to the Upper East Side, and this guy got on the bus, and he was on his phone, and you know, he looked very like eccentric. And he had like a little Leo tattoo, you know, like the mane or like the little squiggle. Kind of looks like the North Node sign. And halfway through the trip, he like really started like screaming and cursing on the bus in front of like elderly people, children. I mean, like it was crazy. People were really uncomfortable. Like he could have broken some glass or some shit like that. Anyway, he was a Leo. And at that moment, he should have really just not tried to make a scene about what was going on, used his inner strength, right? And the energy that flows through him constantly, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can be transferred. So transfer that energy, right, through the transmutations and the karmic lessons that Saturn has taught you, because it's your ways of being that Saturn has to put in check. So he should have known at that moment to respect the people on the bus, respect himself and his identity, because clearly he did want to be seen, and just told the person what he wanted to tell them without going off and scaring people's grandparents. So, in your present right now, you've got the Ten of Pentacles. So this has to do with, you know, family, right? Your physical body. This has to do with what you have been able to manifest and what you have yet to manifest, right? So this is a really great card. It has to do with Jupiter. I said before, Jupiter's in Scorpio right now. That's shared resources. Maybe you guys should really think about using your resources a little bit more thoughtfully, being assertive in different ways. You know, Mars in Aquarius asks us to act in ways that we not wouldn't necessarily go to first. Yes, um, it's kind of like right now we're in Cancer season. If some of you don't feel like you're that emotional of people, let the sun actually bring you into that focus of thinking about your emotions a little bit more. So it's kind of like that. You know, Aquarius isn't really that emotional of a sign. They're more about the thought process. But anyway, Jupiter is saying that when you put work and skill together, along with opportunity and choice and decision, you can really make things happen for yourself, right? Because when you got the sun in Virgo, that's saying that you are service oriented as far as getting to a progressive state of things, right? You're not looking to digress, you're looking to progress. And you're doing it by way of confidence in the work that you produce. And I feel like a lot of people are thinking about that right now with Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, and the moon is there right now. I was thinking of using this map right here of the planets today to talk about things, but I'm okay. I'm pretty good right now. I will say this though, there is a water trine happening. It's Jupiter in Scorpio, which is I think it might be at like 13 degrees, and Pisces is at like about 16 degrees of Neptune. They're retrograde. Mercury is in Cancer right now, about to transit over into Leo, where Venus is. That is where my Venus is. And of course, the Sun is in Cancer with Taurus carrying Uranus. Just for you guys out there. So, in the center, your work, your abilities, your success, your manifestations, your value, what people think of you. You know what I mean? Because Capricorn is like your place in the world, how you work well, what you're known for, right? Those types of things. How boss are you? So, in your immediate influence, you have a sense that others may not be as confident about you as you are yourself. But that doesn't really matter, right? Because Aquarius teaches us that there are many different points of view and perspectives. So just because someone else doesn't understand you, and they might be making you feel like your opinions or your forms or modes of expressions that are safe and not harmful, you know, are not worthy of being shown or shared. Yeah, everyone should be able to express themselves in a thoughtful way that does not harm anyone, because expression is the most purest mode and, you know, thought process, and that is the wheel of the Empress. And she's here. I'll tell you where she gets, you know, at the end or something like that. But this is Venus, you know, the Empress, in Aquarius. These are those relationships with people that may make you feel like you're not good enough. And really, that's a conflict that you can choose to not be in, right? Because we want to get on that boat and sail away in the Six of Swords. Apparently, that is the most beautiful card in the sword suit, and it's one of magic. So you guys are going to have to really tap into that Mars and Aquarius energy and think of things very as being magical sometimes. You know, there are a lot of things in life that you can explain. I'm just going to say that. In your future, you have the Wheel of Fortune, so this is a stroke of luck for you guys. You know, it's kind of like knowing where you are in the scope of things, on the span of things, on the wheel. Where do you lie on the spectrum of interest in expanding yourself through travel or opening yourself up to new experiences, unconventional things that will help you grow as a person, right? Um, it's kind of like hundreds of years ago, before we had quicker modes of transportation, and people would go off to faraway lands and they'd come back and tell people about the places. They didn't have cameras or anything like that, and all the people could do is actually wonder about the places and make up stories in their head and visions and fantasies. And the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, and he rules Sagittarius, but he also rules Pisces, and that's where Neptune is right now. And we are all lucky that we are experiencing this exalted placement of Neptune, because we won't ever get to experience that, period, because it's happening now. So think about the magic in you, and think about the things that are your strengths, the things that really pull people in and make them gravitate towards you to express their show of, you know, consideration for whatever it is that you do and how they appreciate you. But really it's about you knowing that. Actually, for you Capricorns out there who are Capricorns, there might be some things going on in your relationships. It could be in regards to your family, because Saturn is, that represents your family for sure. Um, the physical body of your family, the the people that you are attached to karmically for the rest of your lives. Yeah, that's Saturn. You can't get away from that. It's also Pluto too. They're kind of like they're there. They don't even play, really. They don't play. I have both of them in my first house, and my ascendant is there, and my sun is in Libra. Um, let's talk about your anxiety. So you've got some intimidations, some emotional intimidations, or you might be intimidated by something and it's affecting you emotionally rather than like mentally. So you could be confident here, but you may not be confident here. And I don't know what that is. That might mean that you need to reconsider some of the people that you may have around you, or you may need to reconsider how you spend your time with people, or you may need to reconsider how you deal with the pressures of your struggles. Okay, because the cups have to do with intuition, and they have to do with love and cleansing, right? So that's another thing. This is kind of like someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. And when people wear their heart on their sleeve, sometimes they're more likely to get hurt than not. Yeah. So just try to not be so intimidated. Actually, if you were a little bit more intimidating, um, you know, these are for people who might be a little bit shyer, or be a little bit more assertive in your communications, right? And how you do things, okay? And in your will, you have the Knight of Swords. So this is air and fire. Sounds right? Okay. So this is air and fire, and this is mutable energy. This is Gemini, okay? So this is like the youngest form of communication in the zodiac, right? So this is one of great interest in things. This is one of like quick reactions. It's going to be quick initiations of communication, and the communication flow is going to be quick, right? So there are like many different points of interest that you could be considering at any given time. I dated, and I'm really good friends with my ex, who is a Pisces, and he has a Gemini moon. So I understand Gemini very well. Because your moon is kind of like the deepest part of yourself that no one really gets to experience except for you and the people that are closest to you. So in your will right here, it's saying like you just need to be a little bit more assertive about what it is that you're doing and your ideas about what you're doing. If you have an idea to do something, then you need to breathe fire into it, or breathe air into that fire, so that you can generate some force, right? Yes, Gemini, I know, right? I have Gemini North Node. This could also be Mercury. It could be a Libra or an Aquarius too. So that's what you guys are really pushing towards. You guys are being more assertive about what it is that you want to see happen for yourself, and it really is about getting out there, talking to people. You know, the other day I went by a business establishment. It was a doctor's office, and I was like, I wonder if I should go in and like see if they have any work here. I walked by, and I know this place. I've been there many times. And then I walked back to the corner. I was like, oh, they're busy. There are people inside. And then I was like, you're here now. You know, so Spirit was like, you're here now. Like, what are you doing? Who knows? There might be a thunderstorm for 3 days and you won't come back. You know, who knows? So I was like, turn around, go in there and talk to them, you know? So I went in and I talked to them. I sat down. I met a cute dog that I think was a Chinese Shar Pei and a golden retriever. I'm obsessed with dogs, you guys. Anyway, I got the application. I still have it. They said even if they're not hiring now, like I should fill it out. It's a few pages. But you know, it's like those types of things. Go into what it is that you want assertively and with good intentions for an outcome. Your advice is to let go of the scorn of what it is that hurt you in the past, because right now you're in a place of regeneration, right? This is sort of like a place of rest, stepping out of stepping out of the drama, really, and the heartache, because you've left the Three of Swords. It's actually, this is your advice. So it's saying get out of that Three of Swords energy. It's not here in your reading, but it's in the atmosphere, right? Because you've already been experiencing it. Oh, thank you. So this is Jupiter in Libra. This is expansion in your relationships as well. Maybe some of you are going back to someone that, you know, you used to hang out with, and maybe that you used to date. Maybe you're seeking solace from old friends, people that have been there in the past that know about those painful experiences that you've been going through in your relationships, and the heartache and the torture of the mind, right? This is seeking a little bit of spiritual recluse, solace, rest, meditation. And I mean like meditation through things like things that calm your mind. I personally like adult coloring books. Some people hate them. So think about that. I was talking about the Empress earlier, and she's your outcome. She's our outcome. So this is about existing in your environment, confidently knowing that what you have to offer is indefinite and fruitful. There's abundance within you, and there is abundance around you. How are you going to connect with the abundance around you based on what you know to be true inside? That flow of water is from the High Priestess, which is the card that comes before this one. That is a card of seeing two sides, of understanding there is black and there is white, but there is also gray, which is the wisdom of knowing that there will always be two sides of the coin. There will always be another opinion. There will always be another comment. And there will always be someone there to talk to, because this is a very mothering, nurturing energy. It's one of deep consideration for the connection that you have with your mother. Yes, this could be you or us. But it's one of creativity. So it speaks to creativity, which is cardinal energy. There's a lot going on right now with the cardinal signs. Yeah. You've got Capricorn that's lit up with Pluto, the moon, and Saturn. Cancer's got Mercury and the sun. And Aries has Chiron. And Libra has Haumea. some other comet or asteroid. Anyway, you guys, this was a really great reading. I want you guys to go out there and really do what it is that you know you can do. And don't shy away from anything that you feel like other people may not understand or other people may not appreciate, right? Because we all are fans of something. Now, I might be doing some other special video later because I was inspired to do it. If you guys want to book a reading, a personal reading, oh, thank you. I have to get close. You guys, I'm getting old. I was looking at my phone last night, and like I swear it was looking like it was in two different places. We really appreciate you guys, the love that you give us. Dale will be happy that you're sending these messages. So if you want a personal reading, email providencetarot@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram especially. We do weekly readings for each sign. And, you know, there's other content there as well. I'm NYC Kendrick on Instagram, and Dale is Blue is True with 2 T's on Instagram as well. Bye, you guys.